and welcome to the podcast thing, the only podcast who is lazy enough to not having a fucking name. I'm Tris. There's Jack.
Yeah, it's me.
And we got a new
guest on here, one of the other mods of Tris's server.
Introduce yourself.
It is I, the great paramedics. Actually, no, my name is Frederick McCarthy or Double Doofus on YouTube. Am I Still Lame on Tumblr? And Cablebox Max on Twitter.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the first time we're having a guest. And
well, technically he's not a guest. He's been in the server as long as I guess I have.
Yeah. But maybe it's gonna be like a recurring guest on the podcast though, like not a regular like us.
He could be like Jim.
Yeah, he's our Jim.
I have the voice like Jim.
No, it's just.
Yeah, well,
It's more like you being, you appearing every so often.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I get it.
Okay, so we're gonna start the.
Wait, what was that voice you were doing earlier? You sounded like you were doing a Yoda impression.
I was just doing shit
I was
like.
trying to do.
I think he was doing like a paramedic's voice because that will be important later in the podcasts.
Yeah, it will be because Fred here is going to be discussing this week's topic, which is Astérix, something that I have no experiences with, and it'll be fun to learn about.
Yeah, and I am a casual fan of. But yeah, let's start the news. And the most recent news is we got some and very recent, like it's been up for like a few minutes now, and we actually got news about the season 2 of Inferno Cup.
I've been meaning to finish the first Inferno Cop.
Yeah, it's
I saw the first Inferno Cop like a while ago.
Yeah.
It was okay from what I remembered.
And I still think Turning Girls is a better trigger ONA.
Oh, let me guess, it's because it has girls in it.
No, it's not. Well, okay, there's one which is kind of hot for not moving character, but
So, is it me who wants like both the first and second season of Inferno Cop to be shown on Adult Swim and dubbed by the people by the voice actors on the Adult Swim team, and then only to confuse many viewers being like, hey, why is Adult Swim showing their main programming during Toonami hours?
I've never really thought about that.
it would be fucking great.
I was thinking Adult Swim's April Fool's. I was thinking Adult Swim's April Fool's gag this year would be showing Pop Team Epic dub during Toonami.
Yeah, because like a lot of April 1st will be on the Adult Swim schedule, so it will affect Toonami in some way. Hopefully it's Pop Team Epic.
Yeah, like how last year when Rick and Morty did that season 3 bull crap, and that preempted Samurai Jack, and that made me really angry.
well, it also, I think it also,
Speak about adults.
yeah.
Yeah. No, go on, Fred.
Speak about Fools this year. Actually, it seems like the April Fool's Day joke this year is like something called Adult Swim Junior, and nobody knows what it is.
Oh
Like-
man, that was from like a bump a while back where they like, I guess, teased some kind of programming block featuring like, I guess, I don't know, Cartoon Network shows aimed for a teen audience, but I don't know. That just sounded like some bullshit they just came up with and people took it seriously.
Yeah, people were thinking, oh yeah, Adult Swim is gonna show Infinity Train.
No, it's gonna be Cartoon Network.
False alarm, false alarm. Guys,
It's gonna be like a...
guys, it's not the second season actually of Inferno Cup, it's actually a cool game for Steam. They fucking trolled this.
It sounds like...
Like,
Either way it sounds,
yeah, like, yeah, I'm on the official Trigger website. They actually wrote it in English, so I didn't even have to use Google Translate this time.
Wow, news much.
Yeah, but like, so does that mean there's no actual season 2 of Inferno Cup? Because that's actually news. Like,
I don't know. I think it was like hyped a while back.
it was like
I
a
guess
bit,
now
a bit.
it's up in the air.
Yeah, I mean it's not, but yeah, like a Trigger made them that. Well, I guess that was Trigger April Fool's joke.
excuse me, I have to go try to take care of something.
Oh man.
Oh
Will
man.
you be back?
Fred, will you be back soon?
Alright.
I mean,
Sorry, so what were you talking about?
Will you be back soon?
Well,
Will you be
well,
back?
It wasn't long, so... I'm back.
Oh, okay. That was short.
oh,
That's your
yeah, that was pretty short.
yeah. Okay, so next bit of news. We got 3 personalities being accused of being kind of perverted acts. Dan Schneider with his foot fetish, which got fired off Nickelodeon. Dangibro, who whines about Lolly being banned off Patreon, and John K, who ruined an artist's life.
Oh boy, like... Okay, so, Dan Schneider, it's like... I don't know, I kind of feel speechless, strangely, with that one there. Dangibro and... But like, Dangibro and the others actually have something to say about that. With Dangibro, what a way to make yourself look like a clown.
Yeah, like,
Well, to be fair, like, Dangibro's always been kind of a cow. It's just that, like, with this one, he kind of, like, got everyone's attention just whining about lollies and shit. I mean,
yeah,
I'm probably more mad at him for, like, the Monkey Jones fiasco than
yeah,
the lolly thing. I just wanted to make fun of him for, like, the lolly crap.
yeah. And to be honest, I stopped watching him when he will stop being fucking consistent and and when he stop caring about finishes his projects.
Yeah, he's gonna be like Spoonie, you know.
Yeah.
This is actually if he does go that route, it's gonna be kind of worse than Spoonie because wait, actually no, it wouldn't.
Yeah. But yeah, Dangibro, he really did eat his own foot this time, but you know.
Yeah.
I'm glad to say that I'm glad to see that people are making fun of him now, you know. And we want to talk about like John K.
Yeah, like like everybody fucking called it, but it's still fucking terrible what happened.
Yeah. Terrible.
What was that, Jax?
Okay. Yeah, John K's like treatment of like his female interns, artists wasn't really like was pretty much like an open secret in the animation industry, but it's still pretty horrible how he treated them as like objects. And it's great that like he's exposed for his crap, and that whatever goodwill he had from like the animation industry is probably all gone down the toilet.
Yeah, like he was already the most unemployable guy in the industry, and now like he is like what I love about John K is that he does everything to not be employed in ever again. Like first like the deadline things, then the bashing everyone, and now the Weinsteinization of his career.
Coin hurt with a huge animation.
Okay, like honestly, close to where
Guys,
station.
Guys, you're cutting a lot.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Shut in the server a few days ago.
Yeah, I saw that.
How ironic that John K, who basically gave birth to a bunch of spoiled 90s kids, would also be a nostalgia biased in his own red 50s.
Yeah.
I was actually focusing more on that whole. About the time lapse of a dead rabbit decomposing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like look through the post. He even leaks a video to a dead rabbit decomposing. It's like, what the? What?
You know, he was a fucked up guy, and
okay, like
actions have consequences, I guess.
okay, like I went like at random of this post, and what I read is, kids, look outside window. They see a rabbit decomposing.
God. Well, I guess that walrus who said call the police was right. You know.
Yeah.
Gotta call the police on John now. He needs to go be locked up so he won't have any more lollies.
Yeah. and lick their foot. Wait, we are so wait, no.
No, he didn't have a foot fetish.
It would be funny
He was
though.
Dan man. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising.
Yeah.
At the very least.
So, nipples, huh? No, sir, I don't think I have any use for rubber nipples. But I'll tell you what, though. Do you have any rubber walrus protectors? Call the police.
Okay, so
Some
other news, hopefully a better news. We got like we got a new Studio 3 Earth's anime, and it looks good. BLACKFOX, which coming soon.
That's pretty whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, but I saw somebody on the our Trigger Discord server that they said it that the teaser may look bad. The teaser kind of stole the aesthetic to Persona 5. And when watching the teaser, it's kinda true.
Oh wow. That just makes me wanna like avoid it all the more.
Yeah, but Studio 3 Earths is a good studio. I'm sure it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I know. Tris, is there a studio you hate? That like really hate?
That's Dio Manda. Like Dio Manda.
I've never heard of that studio.
Okay, so Dio Manda did like okay, so first off they made Fuka, so that's a sign of quality.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Okay, so what did they do also? Oh yeah, they also did my guilty displeasure, that is fucking Squid Girl. And they made they made Our Girl also. Okay, there's one show I'm pretty sure when I'm gonna watch it, it's gonna be a good one. It's Girlish Number. But besides that, like, they made also Mayoiga. Okay, I'm just gonna like give you like this like the showcase of everything. No, not that. Fuck it. Wrong link. Why is that? Okay, what the fuck is? What the fuck? Okay, wait. Sorry. I'm kind of sorry, kind of messy there. Okay, now this is.
Well, I guess that's it for anime news. I mean, I
Yeah.
got some news right now. Yeah, the Deadpool animated series for FXX has been canceled for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah. And the worst part about this is we actually got we found the fucking test footage for the from Titmouse, but it got blocked by Disney. Thanks, I guess, you assholes.
Yeah, you know. Now that Disney owns Deadpool,
Yeah.
Fox, yeah. They'll become the new 20th Century Fox on YouTube. Just
Yeah.
block everything.
Yeah.
Fred, do you have any informative news to share with the audience?
Sorry about that. Touched my microphone there. Trying to thinking. Yeah, I got nothing, to be honest.
Tell us.
Oh man. What? No. Actually, I have like 2 more bits of news relating to like Cartoon Network stuff.
Oh yeah.
So they finally announced that Adventure Time's finale is coming, which we already did a terrible podcast where I just rambled about that for like half an hour.
Yeah.
They haven't given an exact date as to when that'll air.
Yeah. And Villainous is getting a TV production.
Interest, you're cutting out.
Oh fuck. So yeah, Villainous is getting like a TV production.
Yeah, and Markiplier will probably be in it.
Yay.
I just wanted to see, like, Villainous in English, though, despite having Markiplier.
I think they actually did like make English shorts. Or I guess English dub shorts, you know.
Yeah, it's been leaked. And by leaks, I mean actual leaks, not like, hey, I found this Steven Universe leak, and wait, when it's just the actual episode airing on Cartoon Network France, you assholes. This is not a leak. It's just like an international version of the channel airing before the US. Dumbass.
Yeah. But I guess that's it for news. We could just like go into the main topic today, of which Fred has so been willing. We've been preparing for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. It is time for one of our most treasured comic book figures of here in France, Astérix the Gaul, which isn't that known here in America. Well, why am I saying here when I'm in France? Wait, okay, this is getting kind of weird. Okay, it's not very known in the US, mostly because, like, yeah, it's a very French thing, like, you know. But it's pretty good, and our friend Fred, which is always willing to watch something a bit more foreign, he's gonna talk about us most, and maybe not just like Jack told us about Adventure Time.
Yeah,
Okay, so-
maybe have more. You know, you go ahead.
Alright, so yeah, pretty much for any American listeners, I think to pretty much summarize Asterix, or at least get a good idea of it, think Popeye crossed with the Smurfs.
That's actually pretty good as a description.
Oh man, I can't believe there's like tiny blue people in Asterix.
Not mostly in the art style, because like the 50s school of French cartooning is kind of its own art style. Like people, I'm pretty sure people were complaining about the cartoony art style of the 60s French comics, just like people are complaining about the CN art style, right now.
Okay, so anyways, like, with Asterix, like, yeah. So yeah, I actually first discovered, like, Asterix through the Sega Genesis game, Asterix and the Great Rescue. It was, oddly enough, released in America.
Oh yeah, that fucking game.
I actually remembered enjoying it as a child, but I remembered I could not get past that second level for the longest time because of that wall.
Yeah, but this is just a freak. Yeah, that's like a fucking disaster, that game. But yeah.
I actually remembered playing that game like a week ago or something, and then I played it recently and finally figured out how to get past that wall, and the levels actually get far worse from there.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, like
There's
it's...
like a whole lot of cheap there's like a whole lot of cheap difficulty spikes in there.
Yeah, it... Like, and the worst... And like, not the worst thing, but like the weirdest thing about this, is that it's actually a core design game. Like, the guy who made Tomb Raider made this.
I didn't know that. Was
Yeah.
this like his first project?
No, I think they made Rick Dangerous before, which is a far better platformer. Though it's still freaking hard as shit.
So yeah, as one could tell, like Asterix has had like a bunch of merchandise, which goes to show like apparently how popular it is in Europe compared to like, I guess in relation to like, how most Americans would probably have viewed it. Actually, Fred, while we're on the subject, could you like tell us the general premise of Asterix?
Yeah, that will be...
Basically, it cuts way back.
Continue.
Okay, so basically it goes way back when Gaul was still Gaul, and the Romans keep trying and failing to take over the remaining bit of Gaul, which is where the Asterix characters live in. And basically everybody in the village drinks this magic potion which gives them superhuman strength. Yeah,
Magic potion.
Yeah, that's that.
Magic potion. And basically, like every comic book and every movie, they change it up, yet still keep the same formula.
Like, I think there's like two different formulas for Asterix. Like, there's one formula where the Asterix and Obelix would go. Oh, by the way, Obelix is like the kind of dumb but kind of hearted friend to Asterix, and like there's a formula where those two would like travel to other parts of Europe, and the second one is more like it's kind of a more slice of life formula where it's just we just follow the Asterix and the townspeople, and usually shits go wrong and very hard.
That's interesting. Like, so when they go to like Europe, do they meet like, I guess, different approximations of like the cultures at the time, or is it more or less like modern day European cultures, just like presented in an anachronistic lens?
It's
The former.
yeah, it's the I would say the latter though, because like there's a lot of stereotypes involved. Like I remember there was a part where they like it's kind of both, like, you know, it's a mix of the two, so to variate the humor.
Yeah, basically that. And also to explain another big thing about Asterix are the names of pretty much all the villagers.
Oh yeah.
All the villagers in the Astérix like have names that are all puns that relate to what they do.
And
Yeah, like there's like, what was that, Tris?
and also all their names ends with a suffix, a certain suffix based on their based on whatever they're from Gaul, from whatever they're Roman, or even like Hispanic and stuff. Like they change up the suffix. Like for the Gauls, for example, it's Rix, because in reference to the famous Gaul war dude Vercingetorix. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, there's like a character called, there's like a bad musician in the village called Cacophonics, a pun of cacophonic, meaning terrible noise. There's a dog character called Dog Matrix in the English version. Yeah, there's like a really tall and kind of fat sheaf called Vital Statistics.
Okay, it's working. It's laughing. Wow, I say laughing. I can't speak today.
Man, those puns sound really, really funny. Like,
Yeah.
if I actually got to know the characters well.
Yeah, like I know there's. I know in our I don't know if it's on every version of the books, but the first page does always a quick summary of the main characters.
Every page. Yeah, every time it lists out all the characters in the stories.
Yeah. So that you can start with pretty much any any books, even though there's kind of some continuity, though it's very minor.
Oh, so most of these books are like self-contained,
Yeah,
I
though
guess.
yeah, though then there could be some quick reference to the to a certain book, and usually there's like a note where they say in which book this reference comes from, like, so that it's not all.
Yeah, like, I guess.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
I think even then, with the whole references and whatnot, you could still kind of like jump it. You could still mostly jump into like any Astérix book and not feel lost.
Yeah, which is good because there's like.
Yeah, I guess because they all have like. Probably because like they all have like the same formula and shit.
Yeah, like there's. Though they change it up just enough so that it's not, you know, like, not good.
There's actually a couple of issues where none of the villagers needed the magic potion.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about like some of the more important characters in the series, like what their personalities are like.
Yeah, with Astérix, like he's basically like a very small man. Yeah, very strong, but mostly relies on intelligence, and tries to do what's right, which is mostly anything relating to his friends or his village. There's ASTERIX, like as Trish said, a pretty tall and fat guy who's inhumanely strong but not really smart. He carries Melhiners. Actually don't know how to say it, but like they're very large stones.
Yeah, well, looks like Obelix, which is why he's named Obelix. Yeah, that's the pun here.
I already meant. Yeah, there's panoramics or get-effects, as he's called in the English translations. Yeah, apparently, like he's the one he's like an old druid that makes the magic potion for all the villagers, and a whole bunch of other useful potions.
Oh, I just realized their magic potion must be like their spinach that they use to like defeat the bad guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
Made by like Popeye.
Mm-hmm. Like even the no, I've lost it. You can continue.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been running for like more than 50 years, soon 60, and with 36 books plus tons of animated movie adaptation, and 3 live action movies that ranges from awful to pretty great.
Are the animated films, like, I guess, animated well, you know?
Okay, so the animated it's kind of rough, but it still looks good. It's no Disney, but it's pretty decent for a 70s French movie. Though, like, the authors of the books were directing most of the movie adaptations, so there's no real trouble with the adaptation.
Yeah, apparently like the first movie is really the weakest movie. Like they took like the first book but like stretched out the funny jokes, or at least some of them anyways.
Yeah. And like
yeah, every movie after that, it's like an instant upgrade.
yeah. Like also like the authors hated the first movie so much that they that there was also like two other adaptations that were vanished and destroyed because it was like because they didn't want to see another thing like that again.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like the Phantom Blood movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Though like it's not a loss.
Yeah, I think it, but considering how the first movie looks when you read the book, I don't think we were really missing anything.
Yeah. Like it's
Actually, that makes me. How would you describe like the art style of the comics?
okay, so
The comic itself actually,
like the
become
like the like
No, go ahead, Fred.
yeah, basically the comics themselves look like Disney tier like style of like drawing and composition and colors.
though
Very
it's
cartoonish, but yet very like high quality. Like
also like as it went on, like before the main artist behind it retired, the art style was getting more and more realistic as it went on. Like the very first books that were made were a lot more cartoonish. So yeah.
Chris, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
I think you cut out. I think you cut out again.
Fuck. Fucking connection.
And that's what you get for living out in the country.
Yeah. But I'm still happy that I can put this out there.
yeah, I think to summarize what Trish said, like as the comic books went on, the art actually started getting more realistic.
Yeah.
Yet still cartoon-like.
So did like the stories become more serious as they went on, or did they like ramp up the comedy?
It just became more.
Based on like
It basically became even more outlandish, and there's even like one of the comic that's actually pretty awful because like it makes absolutely no sense.
yeah, I think I remember. Yeah, speaking about like when at some point they're in the comics, like I remember Trish brought up like for like one of the last comics for a while with the Astérix was like this full attack on anime thing.
Man, everyone's just cutting out today.
Yeah. Okay. So what he said was like the last fucking comic that was made before the artist, the original artist retired, was a fucking weird comic that was basically attacking anime.
What?
Yes,
Really?
yes,
Man.
yes.
Yes.
This is fucking real, and like one of the panels is just so fucking weird. It got to be the like picture for the podcasts. I'm gonna re-put it now.
This is gonna be. What? Oh, this is from the anime issue, I guess.
Yeah, and like it's like America versus Japan, but in the most fucking weirdest way possible.
Wait, what is the Are those supposed to be like mecha?
Yeah, like the spaceship is basically a parody to of Grandizer.
Wow, that I don't even know what to say. Like that must have that's a really obscure thing to like reference.
No, it's not very obscure here. Like Grandizer is fucking huge here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe someday we'll have Smith on and he can like gush about mecha anime, you know.
Oh yeah.
He even like has a mic.
Yeah, and also speaking of, we'll also talk about Lego every once in a while.
Yeah, but so let me get this straight. There's a story that just makes fun of like, do they like go to Japan and just like make a bunch of Japanese stereotype jokes?
No, it's like aliens, which will represent America, and aliens will represent Japan, fighting on Gaul for no reason, and there's a lot of filler jokes that makes no sense.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's and like it's not it's just stupid, awful, but I fucking love it for just because it's surreal and feels nothing like Astérix at all. Like it's, and also it's kind of offensive because like the to like anime and stuff. Also like the Japanese aliens are like golden beetles. Like beetles, the
golden beetles.
Yeah, because they're gold because of Senseiya.
Tris, you're cutting out again.
Fuck. So yeah, like the like they're gold just because it's a reference to Senseiya.
Man, you French have like the most obscure taste in anime.
No, we just had anime early, and Senseiya is fucking huge everywhere. Like Senseiya is huge everywhere except in the US. Honestly, like it's also.
Yeah, it's a shame that like me and Fred, we basically grew up with Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon.
Yeah, but we.
Speaking about like anime and other
Yeah.
mantras.
Yeah. Now continue.
Yeah, speaking about like anime and and certain series not being popular anywhere else. Like, the only other than America, the only other country where like Asterix is not seen to be big in is Japan.
Yeah.
That is really random that like a French comic wouldn't be popular there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which is really strange when you remember when you find out that it's been translated into Chinese and Korean.
Yeah.
Well, I think we know why it's not popular in Japan.
Yeah. Also, there's like bootleg Cuban version of the books.
Wow.
Did you say Cuban?
Yeah.
Yes, you said Cuban.
Yes,
But
I'm
that
French.
Was like translated in Spanish.
Oh yeah, apparently like Asterix was like one of the few foreign things released inside Cuba. I actually remembered reading an article like some of like where some people were using Asterix to explain their relationship, explain Cuba's relationship with the United States, and all it was in short was saying, well, Cuban are the Gauls, and America are like the Romans. We keep fighting off against American soldiers. And it's like,
Wow.
there's like so many things wrong with that comparison.
Yeah.
And I thought the Smurfs were the communists.
Yeah. And they're also white supermassive, remember?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Like-
Actually, about like the Romans in Asterix, are they kind of just like, you know, the generic bad guys, you know?
Really depends on the book, to be honest. Like, some Romans are like stupid, but like Caesar, like the Roman, the emperor of the Romans is pretty smart, and like he sometimes have extremely clever and vicious like plans in order to fight off. Like, there's this one book where he basically makes like an hotel in front, just near the forest the village is in, so that to attract the Gauls to have like a luxurious life and quickly abandon their village so that they're conquered and voila. Yeah, which is kind of extremely good plan that almost works, but Asterix doesn't fall for it.
You're kind of giving a little way, Travis.
Sorry, it's just I just really like that. I just really like that.
I don't really mind. Spoilers don't really affect me as long as I haven't like really generally interacted with the material.
Yeah. By the way, I'll be right back. I need to find something.
Alright.
You know, I find it like really funny that like in the stories like the Gauls are trying to not get conquered by the Romans, considering that like when the real Roman Empire was like a thing, like pretty much all of what we know today is like France was just conquered and was part of the empire.
Yeah. Asterix has it kind of stays historically accurate, yet at the same time completely disregards it.
That is really funny. Like, actually, I was gonna like ask you about like the stereotypes. How offensive are they, if they even are?
I'm back.
Well, the strange thing is, like, Triss is back. Well, yeah, Triss, like, Jack was just asking me about like how offensive the stereotypes of like Astérix are. Like the weird thing is, like while they're a very massive generalization, for the most part they're actually not that offensive.
Yeah, it's only in the Japanese.
So is it just like?
Yeah, it's just like that one.
So is it just like behavior and like culture?
Yeah, it's
Not just like, you know, racial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, they stereotype the culture, but not really trash on it.
Yeah.
Aside from that whole anime issue that I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is just a mess, but I love it. Like, yeah.
One issue I've been meaning to read is this one where apparently the Gauls, or at least that one story where it takes place in Britain, because apparently, like, I've heard in the original French translation, not really translation, I mean original French version, apparently they, like, literally translated British expressions in the wrong way, but in the English version they replaced it with ridiculously stereotypically sounding British English.
Yeah, okay, so
the
thing, yeah, and like in the, like, it's kind of, they're like taking like the extremely English stuff, like the tags, for example, you know, isn't it, and stuff, the kind of stuff you don't do in America, and literally translate it.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally translated in French, and it's kind of funny. It's like,
I find it really funny how tax happy the British are.
yeah.
Yeah, they have to make ads. They go hard on taxes. But yeah, anyways, like let's not get too deeply into that.
Yeah. Let's not talk about taxes on our animation podcast.
Yeah. So
No, I just think it's
I
just think it's really funny considering like we fought a war over like taxing us Americans.
I should mention apparently there actually is like a story of like where Astérix goes to America, and there's a whole that actually got adapted into a movie. Like I haven't seen that yet, but I've been meaning to see it, like especially since I've heard apparently that book apparently has a real good American English translation.
Yeah. I think I heard that.
Oh man, I could just imagine like the Americans are like really fat and they eat all the time and the jerks.
No, it's like they're Indians.
Actually, look.
Like, it's like the Amerindians.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that's right. Apparently, it's actually not really. It's not really after colonized America. It's actually Native Americans. Either way, I'm still interested.
Oh man, calling it. Oh man, Native Americans.
Yeah. I'm at least.
I guess Tris doesn't know much about like the native peoples of this country.
I know most of it from Lucky Luke. Another thing,
But this time it takes place in the Wild West, but you know, it's kind of a Western comic book. Pretty fun. By the same author as Astérix. At least at first.
I wonder what like French history class is like. I bet it's just like thinking about the good old days when like kings and queens ruled the country and then Napoleon came.
no, we are very, no. We are all we're really like now really attached to our Fifth Republic.
Hey, here's something interesting. Oh, done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, here's something interesting when reading the first whole. So in the whole, there's a whole story where like Astérix has to go out and buy a golden sickle for panoramics or get a fix. Yeah, and he has to go out into the city and there's a whole guy selling expensive golden sickles. And for the longest time, like before reading it, I was expecting in that book to be like that guy to be like a dragon. Like I thought there was gonna be like a dragon selling golden sickles to human beings. Wanna know why I thought that?
Why?
Okay, so apparently on TV Tropes they kind of mention, they have a page called Cut and Paste Translation, which basically means a translation that is so drastically different from the original series entirely. And so anyways, like there was the first German translation of Astérix. Yeah, the translation went.
You can't. Okay, no. Okay, sure, no, yeah. No.
What, Chris?
It's good, it's good.
Yeah, in the very first German translation of Astérix, like they changed the Gauls to Goths, as in German Goths. And to give you an idea of like how south it went, when actual Goths show up in the story, the translator changed the actual Goths to East Goths.
Yeah, that
And
it
so
was.
anyways, like,
It was the Cold War.
and if that wasn't enough, with that whole story about the Astérix trying to go and buy a golden sickle, apparently the main villain selling overpriced sickles, like the translator made that guy speak with a fucking Jewish accent. To make it even more painful, this was like long after World War II.
Yeah.
And so anyways, I thought there was gonna be a dragon that sold golden sickles because of this line here, the Misakari, another TV Tropes term for basically the same thing as like cut and paste translation. The Misakari came to its end when he made the dragon of the golden sickle. Riddler sold overpriced golden sickles, speak with a Jewish accent, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. A dragon in Astérix selling golden sickles, and then I thought that whole spoiler bit that I said spoilers, like an actual important plot details like covered up. I thought like, oh, maybe the dragon's not a dragon, it's people pretending to be a dragon. Like I thought that was happening in the story, but after reading it, I decided to check out what does the dragon bit lead to, because it's hyperlinked, and apparently it's actually TV Tropes slang for a big evil bad guy. Way to go, TV Tropes! You actually tricked me into thinking an actually plausible thing in Astérix happened with your confusing terms.
Yeah, for those of you not in the know, Fred, like, is into, like, foreign adaptations of, like, cartoons because of all the time he spent on TV Tropes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read TV Tropes in moderation,
I only really
kid.
spent... Say that again, Tris.
read TV tropes with moderation, kids.
Yeah,
Moderation.
and also TV tropes with users with thicker skin, please.
Yeah, we could do a podcast about TV tropes. To be honest with you, maybe we could someday. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Anyway,
okay.
no, you go ahead.
I was okay. Speaking about the whole German debacle, like after that whole bit with the whole bad guy speaking with the Jewish accent, I still can't believe that actually happened after World War II. Yeah. Anyways, like the whole creators of Asterix immediately yanked the rights away from him. Yeah, and then like immediately afterwards, that same person that did the whole not translation bit, he actually made his own Asterix ripoff called the Fritzi Blitz und Donner Kiel.
That's German, alright.
And based on like one bit. What?
I just said that's German, alright. Yeah, like, that was very German. Like, you know my name, because I do German and stuff. Continue.
So it was like,
I said continue.
so, okay. And then this whole German knockoff thing, like it really is like a knockoff, like they still fight the whole Romans, and but although the whole character shapes are different, like based on like what little I've read, like it sounds like that guy just basically just made his own Asterix ripoff.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole German translation thing sounds really weird, like, considering how, like, the Goths, or I guess the Visigoths, like, basically invaded the Romans and, like, led to the demise of that empire, while, like, I guess in the original French translation, it's just the Gauls trying to, like, prevent the Romans from taking over their village.
Yeah, because like we are in the timeline. We are in 50 BC.
Oh, so this was like when the Roman Empire was really starting to like show its, I guess, dominance.
Yeah, that's why they can do like a few scenarios where they where the Romans try to conquer other stuff, like, because they're not that.
Man, could you imagine like if there was if they actually like had Asterix like take place during like, I guess, the life of Christ?
Astérix becomes Christian. I can see it in my eyes.
No, like when Jesus was still around.
Yeah, like that would be fucking funny. Like just seeing Astérix with like an extremely realistic depiction of Jesus Christ.
Oh man, it'd be so terrible.
Oh my god, this is too good.
Oh boy, this podcast sure went south.
Yeah. And
No, this is probably the best podcast ever, except for Tris breaking up and also interrupting us.
yeah, sorry guys.
And thing in the chat, like what it looked like.
Oh.
It really really does kind of look like a rip-off.
Yeah. Though it's at least it looks charming enough.
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously a rip-off.
Thinking about
Oh, sorry. Continue. I'm done.
as you continue.
Okay, like it's obviously a rip-off, but like their art style is good enough to be like to be charming. So yeah, like I was speaking for nothing again.
Okay, so it's a Fritze, Blitz und Dunnerkiel.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm not good at like pronouncing German, like I guess I'm better than like you guys.
Fritze Blitz und Dunnerkiel.
Fritze Blitz und Dunnerkiel.
Yeah, like but
Okay.
that's second miss.
And it's speaking about
Yeah, continue pyramid.
Actually, now that I think about it, Eskoff's is actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
Yeah. You're all fucked.
Speaking about Astérix rip-offs, like, apparently there's also another Polish, apparently there's like a Polish one, strangely enough, made like around the 70s and 80s called Kai, Ko, and Ko Kosh.
This long,
So
that's
instead of like, what was that?
no, continue. But it's,
Being, about Gauls, apparently they're Slavic, and instead of like fighting like anybody, any particular bad guy, I mean actually well-known historic enemies, they just fought against like some generic bad guys or something. And the
wow.
whole comic book is super Polish.
You mean Polish, the country,
I
or
mean, I guess
Pol?
it makes sense considering like no.
Polish, the country, or Polish, the
Like Polish, like
that was a joke, but it was funny, you know.
Jesus Christ, that was a terrible joke.
Yes.
You know, well, I guess Poles are Slavic. You know, they're part of like the more. I don't know. The Slavish people are really weird. Like considering like how they basically like monopolized Eastern Europe. You know.
Yeah, but like this looks fucking bland. Like compared to like,
The art style kind of reminds me of Archie.
oh yeah, like that face is
It does.
that face is totally like an Archie comic book. But
Yeah, so anyways, like this whole series here is a smash hit in Poland.
of
Apparently, like, it has like numerous, I think like 20 albums like published, an actual CGI movie, and yeah, the book, yeah, much like Asterix being published into like local languages, apparently this Koiko and Kokosh got like translated into local Polish languages, and even got a and even one of their albums actually got published in English.
oh
Wow. It's kind of interesting how big Asterix was, like considering like not only how many languages it was translated to, but it also inspired a bunch of rip-offs.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like there, and to be honest, the best Asterix related thing is the latest animated movie, which
It looks great, considering the small budget of only $3 million.
Wait,
Wow.
I've seen pictures of that, like, yeah, and actual video footage, like, that was made with $3 million?
Yeah, 3 million.
God.
It looks.
Oh, wait, I just remembered something. Isn't there like an Astérix theme park?
Yes, there's one in. There's one in Paris, near Disney Paris.
Yeah, Park Astérix.
Yeah.
I imagine it's more like Six Flags than like Euro Disney.
Yeah, it's our Six Flags.
Or Cedar Point. I don't know if you even know what Cedar Point is.
I don't know what this is.
Wow, that kind of does look really good. The CG Astérix film.
Yeah. Like, I know, like the.
Would you say they're better than like the? Would you say they're better looking than the hand-drawn films?
Well, slightly, like but like one of the directors is a former Pixar artist, and the other director is like a pretty famous humorist here, like a comedian.
I guess that would explain why it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though it kind of looks more like a.
What's up?
Continue.
Yeah, you seeing how this is made of like $3 million, and seeing like how Pixar or animated films and whatnot cost like 10 or 20 times as much, actually probably like 8 times as much money. I almost wonder like what do all those big name studios spend that money on?
Marketing.
Probably advertising.
Marketing and the celebrity voices, because like it's the almost the entirety of the voice cast of that Astérix movie is like friends of the director that played in his other shows and stuff.
Wow. That is crazy.
Yeah, and they do excellent jobs.
Speaking about the
Continue, Fred.
Yeah, speaking of like Astérix animated movies and voice casts, apparently like there was like at least one time an Astérix movie was dubbed for specifically for American audiences using more American casts. Like it was Astérix and the Big Fight, where apparently they actually got Henry Winkler to voice Astérix, but apparently Astérix fans say that's like the weakest dub, and yet that's the only English dub of that movie that anybody could find anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Henry Winkler has done like other voice work.
I kind of was thinking about watching the American dub, but then I was thinking about like how the Astérix fans like sort of said that like how they said that like that's actually considered the worst. That's like a very bad dub, and considering like the other things they said about like the Astérix video games and whatnot, and like I think I'll just take their word for it, and I did, and but then I kind of got curious on eBay, like seeing like how it was an American dub. I thought, hey, maybe it's released on DVD in America. It wasn't.
What a fucking waste.
But instead, yeah, what irony! It's like a dub specifically made for American audiences, and American audiences can't legally see it anymore.
Yeah, pretty sure it was on VHS only.
Yeah.
Speaking of like legally buying like Astérix, yeah, the big five, like on eBay, the closest thing I found was like some DVD being sold by a Canadian seller where the whole movie is in Arabic, but it has English subtitles. I bought it just to see like what the, basically not only to see the movie in a more, yeah, in a hopefully better way. I'm not having my fingers crossed on that though, but also to see like how good the subtitles are.
Yeah.
Considering that I don't know where it came from, and yeah, I kind of question like how they translated it, like did they base the English dub, the English subtitles off the original French script, or did they just translate from French to Arabic to English? Wait, that's like a very big no-no for translating Astérix, because you're diluting the plots that way, especially if it's a non-romance language.
Yeah.
I really. So hopefully that like DVD will like come in any day now, and I'll check to see if it has any subtitles and all. Yeah, and if it has like really laughably bad subtitles, I'll share it to the rest of the world.
Do it.
Oh no, it
Kill
better
him.
not have. Actually, I don't really have any like expectations it'll be any good, you know, considering like, I don't know, was this like a bootleg or was this like officially released?
This looks like a bootleg since I can't really, since the eBay seller didn't really put any information about like who was like who made it or like where it came from.
Oh, then take whatever like subtitles you get with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
I know. I will. I'll take as much salt as I can before I get a stroke.
I knew it.
Oh,
I always wanted to find like a badly translated bootleg sub of something, and looks like I might get my chance. So anyways, I guess that looks like I'm gonna have to wait.
Yeah. If
So anyways, like, yeah, Tris.
if you have any updates before I upload the podcast online, be sure to say it to me so that I add it on the description, on the YouTube description, and especially if you put pictures of those terrible subtitles.
Yeah, this is implying if it has subtitles.
Yeah.
oh man.
Okay. Yeah, I will. I will post those. I will post like updates and whatnot on your video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I hope when we actually get to like editing this, it turns out a lot better than like the first two episodes, because listening to them, they're a fucking mess. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty painful to like go through.
Yeah. I do what
I'm
I
actually recording like audio of not only my voice but your voices as well.
Oh, I'm sick, man. Maybe we could just get Fred to like edit this one, you know?
I'm kind of relying on like Tris to do it first.
Yeah.
Yeah, before I send the audio files to Tris.
Yeah. But But I mean, at least we got a backup thing now. We're getting more and more.
Yeah.
We're getting less and less shitty as we go on. That's the moral.
Yeah, this was a lot better considering we actually had like a conversation about Astérix this time and not just like one of us rambling about like a certain topic.
Yeah, like it was like fucking Q&A, like a fucking Q&A, but instead of us responding to randos, it was me talking, taking question about adventure person to you.
Yeah, I remember like when we were talking about Adventure Time, I had to like remind you to ask me questions.
Yeah. Oh, that was terrible.
Yeah, it was awful.
But speaking about my YouTube, like currently my video that got the most likes is my Rick and Morty French dub video.
Yeah, I'm not surprised considering you love talking about like cartoons on French channels.
Yeah, but because like the distribution is pretty interesting sometimes for some shows. Like when I get a better mic and a better editing software, I kind of want to do like a show where I talk where I just talk about interesting distribution stories about anime in France, like for example Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water, which got a pretty interesting history. Did I cut out?
Yeah.
Fuck!
Yeah, you cut out like. Well, you know, maybe someday you'll move to like, I guess, I don't know, bigger city in France with better Wi-Fi.
Yeah, like to be honest, when I graduate high school, it will go better from there.
Yeah. Well, you know, I guess since France is all Paris and that crap.
Yeah. No, it's kind of better since the 80s.
Anyway, Fred, do you have any last thoughts on like Astérix?
I recommend other Americans to read Astérix, or at the very least see the movies.
I mean, it is kind of like bizarre how it isn't like popular here in America. Do you like have any reasons as to why?
I don't think anybody properly marketed it here. It's like I didn't actually know that Astérix had an American translation at some point until I started looking really deep into it.
Okay, so I kind of have. Okay, so I now remember how Astérix first got distributed in the US, and like at first they were like they tried to adapt like the format of the frame of like the frames for to make it kind of more like how a American comic would look like, and also made like I think a 2-page summary of that got published in National Geographic, like, but that kind of failed, so they just like translated and put it out there, and nobody fucking cared. So yeah, they tried.
Yeah, they tried, but they failed miserably. The lesson here is never try.
Yeah. We all fucked. We are all fucked. We are, everyone is like got a strange fetish for lollies and shit.
Yeah.
That.
And now, if you'll excuse, now I'm gonna go take Hervé for the Flying Colors Foundation.
Oh, I'm sad we didn't actually talk about this.
Oh, we could talk about it now.
Yeah, so like, guys, remember this company that made the international version of the top 100 best anime of all time survey. Okay.
No, I never really remember that.
Well, they are fucking hacks because they now made a new survey in order to change anime as we know it for the better. And the very first question is them asking what is our mental health issues.
What?
Yeah, this is real.
I would probably say my mental health issue is being a weeaboo. When the very first question is this, you know it's gonna, you don't have to watch any of the other surveys to know that they're not legit. Yeah, I actually read an article someone wrote about this whole debacle. It's just like, oh man, how am I supposed to explain this, It's just really weird to see, like, some kind of foundation, like, created to, like, make anime better, even if all it is just, like, garnering statistics on, like, what to sell us weebs and shit, like, loot boxes and all that goddamn crap.
Yeah, we are all tools to big companies, and like the anti-tubers are also fucking sellouts. Like, did you read the thread that Giguk made in defense of them?
Oh man, I heard like he was like trying to like defend them, but it just failed.
Yeah.
So everyone knew he was just a sellout.
Yeah. Like, these 2 weeks...
This has been a...
Continue.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, like, these 2 weeks have been...
yeah, this has not been a good week for, like...
For, like, personalities of all sorts.
Cut out again.
Oh fuck! It was just a bad week for the personalities of all sorts, and being a fan of them, like.
Yeah, but I wasn't a fan of Dangibro anyway.
Yeah, but
everyone in the Anituber community is a sellout. No more false idols.
Yeah, like the only one I think is a bit the only one I think is less shitty, like it seems, that it's only Under the Scope is the only decent one anymore. Like, the only one who is in the sellouts.
Yeah, but I guess we also have Eye Patch Wolf, but you know, he could probably sell out one day.
Yeah. Yeah, Eye Patch Wolf is good too. Like, we are like at, and Pendentic Romantic is just a Dangibro fanboy, so he's lost too.
Let's not talk about Pedantic Romantic.
Okay. But yeah, the Flying Colors Foundation. Oh fuck, I can't pronounce it. Foundation.
Flying Colors Foundation. Or the FCF.
The FCF. It's one. Remember, kids, it's just one letter. Wait, I forgot my joke.
I think you forgot the joke.
Yeah, I forgot the joke. That's it.
Alright, so are we like wrapping up now, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah, I think we are.
Alright, Fred, close this out.
Goodbye, everyone.
I was Tris.
Yeah, goodbye, every pony. I'm Jacob. I'm the fat guy.
Oh, you're fat. I didn't know that.
Frederick, the man with really many names. So,
Oh.
goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.